So a few days ago, I don't know if it was like Letterboxd or like Tumblr or I don't know what it was, but something had a picture of the Breaking Bad movie poster, and I forgot that was even a thing. Like I just forgot it was a thing. So I'm gonna start watching it now. I don't think I'm gonna finish it, but I'm gonna start watching it now. And I very much accepted the fact that I was going to go into the movie not remembering a lot of things because it's been literal years since I watched the show. The only thing I really remember is that they put a man's head on a tortoise. And that's all I remember. I also really questioned myself whether I just said tortoise correctly. Tortoise. A turtle. That's all I remember. But the moral of the story is I started watching the movie, and the first 3.5 minutes is a recap of, it's literally titled The Story So Far, Breaking Bad Recap. And I would just like to say thank you. Thank you, Netflix. Thank you, God, because this is just going to save my life. That 3.5 minutes really reminded me how much I hated Walter White. That show is so good, but oh my god, they did such a good job of making me hate that man. I don't want to be in that for you.
No, I'm getting, this is videoing for the vlog.
Oh, okay. So Sam, and other people if you're watching who are not Sam. Very unlikely. We are doing fall festivities today. Shocker, it was supposed to be the other day. But we are at a apple orchard type place thing, and they had a flight of different apple ciders for like $9. So I got that because a bitch loves apple cider. So we have dry apple cider, whatever that means. Sweet, which I feel like I'll like better. Raspberry? I don't remember what this one is.
I think that's pumpkin.
Pumpkin, you're right.
And then raspberry mango? Blueberry mango?
Blueberry mango.
Blueberry mango?
Yeah, that's right. I think. So I'm very excited.
I'll label it in post.
Yeah, I think that's the order. Joe took a picture so we would remember because I knew I wouldn't.
Entering the picture here.
Dry one, which I don't know what that means, but I feel like it's not going to be great.
What mood? I'm ready.
It's not bad. It tastes like low-key like beer.
Mood. On a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate it? How many beached whales would you rate this?
Probably like a 6.
That's not that bad.
I probably wouldn't like chug it. Like apple cider. Sometimes I'm like I could drink this. This would be like this will probably be way like this is the perfect amount that I would probably.
Also, nothing about dry sounds appetizing.
No,
like literally
like,
nothing.
I'm expecting this sweet one to taste way better.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it tastes way better.
Better.
It tastes more like apple cider, and that's what I want. So this is like an 8.
Ooh, 8 beached whales.
Good. This one's good.
So it's gonna be a lot of editing on my part.
This one is the what? It's the raspberry one?
Raspberry?
Right?
I can only assume that tastes great.
There's something off about it.
Ew.
I don't know how
like
I feel
too tart?
about that one. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
I think I would be a fan of the raspberry one. I'm not a fan.
How many beached whales, Emily?
Like a 5.
Ooh,
Like
less than the dry.
There's something off about it. I don't know if it's, I mean, you'd think apple and raspberry together would be good, but there's something about that one that I'm not a fan of. It left like a weird taste in my mouth, actually.
Mood. Drink the dry to cleanse your palate and then come back.
I mean, listen, I bet you brought water.
Ooh. How many beached whales does the water get?
10.
Mood.
For hydration. All right, so this is the pumpkin one, which, I mean...
Once again, I can't picture that being bad. So is it just pumpkin instead of
good.
apple, or is it both? Like, I can't tell.
It even smells good.
Would it be both, or would it be just pumpkin in replacing of apple? In the pumpkin?
This one's good. I think it's both still. Like, I think it's apple cider mixed with, like, a pumpkin-y taste, but it's still good. I mean, I went back, like, 3 times, so... I'm also gonna have to drink all these because I paid for it. I thought that door was about to...
Yeah, you will.
It didn't kill me.
Well, probably this. You got 5 of these things for the price of me getting, like, one thing at Disney World. During Food and Wine.
This one is the one that we think is...
Blueberry mango?
Yeah. That's
raspberry mango?
Statement.
Raspberry mango? Did you rate pumpkin?
This one, I'd give like an 8.
Mood.
None of these are like 10, to be honest.
Mood.
This one reminds me of like a rosé.
Oh.
Weirdly enough. And
is that good? I was about to say, was that a good review or a bad review?
I think this is the best one. This one's like a 9.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's Yeah. So this one, it's this one, this one, this one, or no?
So
This one,
it was 5, 8. No, wait, 6, 8, 5. I don't remember what you gave us. 6, I think.
I don't remember.
6 maybe, and what'd you just give this
Now
one?
now that I've like actually tasted all of them, this one's definitely the best one.
8 or 9. I don't remember what you said.
This one's I'm gonna give like a 9.
Oh, 9.
This one I'm gonna give like an 8.
Okay.
This one's also an 8. This one's definitely like a 5. This one is not good, and this one's like a 5.5, 6 because
Mood.
it's not
Okay.
good.
I'm sure that's all confusing for the review, but
Yeah, it's not. This one is it just reminds me of beer for some reason, and I don't know why, and that just really turns me off.
mood.
Hi. Joe's looking at the pictures I took of him while standing in corn.
You're right. I am doing that.
But ooh, the lighting. We stan. Also, I'm fully aware that Joe was the only one who recorded anything while we were here, but we're doing fall stuff. So, we're in corn right now. We just took a lot of pictures in pumpkins, and now we're physically in corn. And we did not pay to be in here. We're just assuming it was free. I mean, we know it wasn't. It said $7, but there was also no one here, so we walked in.
It's on you. It's free to me.
It's free right now because no one said anything, so. So I texted you guys the other day that my dad asked me to watch the Yankees game with him, and like usually that's not my style. Like usually like sports, I'm like no. But I was like, okay, cool. And so they're in like, I don't know technical terms at all, but they're in like the pre-games to the World Series. So like they're at the top 4. It's like they're versing one team and there's the other league. I don't know. My dad had to explain it to me because apparently there's 2 leagues of baseball for some reason. Like the Mets is in one league and the Yankees are in a different league, which they all verse each other in the World Series anyway. It doesn't make much sense to me. I don't understand. But the other day, the game started at like 8, and I was like, oh, it'll be like 2.5 hours, whatever, like a movie. No. The game ended up going into overtime by a lot, and the game was on till 1 o'clock in the morning. Which honestly wasn't that bad for me because I'm usually up then anyway. But it was a commitment, and then they lost anyway. So that was sucked. But now I'm sitting here applying for jobs and shit. And the next game is on, so I'm watching it now, which it started at like 4 something, which is way more my style than 8 o'clock at night. Oh, well, they got another. Okay. The Yankees are losing 2-0 right now. It's not great. But I would just like to say that I'm triggered by these games because a lot of the stuff it literally says brought to you by Indeed. And I'm like, all right, listen. I'm already on Indeed.com. I don't need the TV to keep telling me to get back to work. I feel called out. Like Indeed is a sponsor, and I'm shook. Usually it's like beer and stuff, but this one's like, ooh, it's Indeed. And I'm like, okay. So apparently the way it works is to get to the World Series, 2 teams verse each other, like up to 7 times, and it's best out of 7. So if one of them wins 4 games in a row, then they auto go to the World Series. But right now, the 2 teams are tied 1-1. So this is like the 3rd game, I guess. And I would just like to say, didn't watch the first game and the Yankees won. Second game I watched and they lost. And this game I'm watching and they're so far losing. And all I need to say is if they lose now and I don't watch the next game and they win, apparently the Oswego curse is back. And apparently it's me. I can't watch sports because I'm cursed. But if they win, then I'm not cursed. So I'll keep you updated. But right now, it's not looking great. It's only the 2nd inning and they're already down 2 runs. Like, it might be me. I might be the reason the Yankees are losing. So this is editor Emily, and I would just like to say I never updated on the Yankees game ever. But basically, anytime I watched, they lost, and anytime I didn't watch, they won. So really, it's my fault that the Yankees are not going to the World Series. It was really funny because was it the last game where like they lost like the whatever. I started watching it, they were losing, I was like, I'm leaving. I went like upstairs, I was doing other shit, and then I just happened to look at the score when it was like the last inning and it was tied, and I was like, well, I need to go watch it. So I went down to watch it because it was like going to be like 10 minutes because it literally was the end of the game, and I was like, oh, whatever, I'll go watch it. And then they lost. So really, it's all my fault. I'm not that mad about it, but like, I would just like every Yankee fan to know it's my fault. So it's 11 o'clock at night and there's a beeping happening in my house and we don't know where it's coming from. And we're like, okay, the batteries must be dead of something, but we don't know where from.